And just like that, Shedeur Sanders makes his mark once again in voluntary OTAs. The second time we get a glimpse of what this quarterback room can do. And boy, have they been doing the damn thing. Shedeur Sanders has shown his poise and presence to be one of the best quarterbacks drafted in this draft. And yet and still, we're still talking about him being a fifth round slide. But before we get started, y'all know how we do this thing, right? We celebrate you, the viewer, for taking the time out to watch this video. And while you're here, make sure you hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Don't forget to leave your comments down in the comment section. And before we get started, I want to thank all of you for those super chats that y'all left on that last video. I appreciate all the money. We're going to get back to doing some few live streams, and people have made some suggestions of people they would like for me to work with, such as G. Bush and a few others. So we'll work on that. But currently, let's get into the Shedeur love. Shedeur Sanders is doing what he's supposed to do in the voluntary OTAs at the Cleveland facility. And hey, he is projected to be the fourth quarterback on the roster for the Cleveland Browns. But a report has dropped letting us know that Shedeur Sanders has a path to being the starter for the Cleveland Browns. And while we already know that, let's talk about it. You know, let's talk about this article that dropped from Nick Brinkoff. Y'all know my favorite place to get good reporting is from the USA Today, Sports Illustrated, and one or two other sources. So USA Today dropped an article. Shedeur Sanders has a path to winning the Browns QB competition. Shedeur Sanders might have tumbled down the draft board, but he could be flying up the Cleveland Browns quarterback chart, which I am sure that he is. The former Colorado quarterback draft slide ended when the Browns selected him. What in the freak? The former Colorado quarterback draft slide ended when the Browns selected him in the fifth round. That is crazy. Now, we got to see what happens with that. That really. Okay, let's get this back. There we go. We are back. Now let's start back over. Shedeur Sanders might have tumbled down the draft board, but he could be flying up the Cleveland Browns quarterback depth chart. The former Colorado quarterback draft slide ended when the Browns selected him in the fifth round of the 2025 NFL draft with the 144th overall pick. Players taken that late don't typically have a great success rate at becoming starters in the pros, but Sanders isn't your average day 3 pick. That's right, because he should have been a day 1 pick, not a day 3 pick. But you know, they had it out for my people, and it wasn't even cool. Some have speculated Sanders slid because of his family attitude and or talent. Others have noted that he doesn't figure to be a starting quarterback, which makes the noise surrounding his presence on a team an unnecessary distraction. Regardless, Sanders is in camp with the Browns. On a team without a clear starting quarterback atop the depth chart, that means it's wide open competition. One that the fifth rounder has a path of winning, according to ESPN's Kimberly A. Martin. Quote, listen, in that building, there are people who believe that Shedeur Sanders can 100% be the starter of this football team, Martin said on ESPN's Get Up on Wednesday. You said it's incumbent upon the Browns to put him in the situation. It's also incumbent upon Shedeur to do the work, which, talking to the people in the building, they've said he is soaking up everything like a sponge. And that is correct. Shedeur is always prepared. He always does his homework. And trust me, I ain't even talked to y'all about the connection to the Cleveland Browns that Shedeur, Kevin Stefanski, Tommy Reese. I'm gonna break that down in another video. Y'all ain't even ready for this. Y'all don't understand why Shedeur is obviously going to win the QB1 position on this team, because he's built for it. He knows the offense. I ain't get it. Let's get back to this article, because I'm just giving y'all too much right now. To do so, Sanders will have to surpass Joe Flacco, Kenny Pickett, and fellow 2025 draft pick Dillon Gabriel on the depth chart. That doesn't mean he isn't taking every opportunity to learn from the veteran Flacco. However, quote, in the quarterback room, talking to Flacco, wanting to learn, and also, let's not forget, Dillon Gabriel spent a lot of time talking about Shedeur. But Dillon Gabriel is a guy who was drafted in the third, Martin said. One source said to me, he is everything you want in a quarterback. He is just small. Dillon Gabriel they're talking about. If he were a little taller, a lot of people would be looking at Dillon Gabriel a little differently. At least that's how they feel in their building. So they have a very interesting quarterback situation, and Shedeur has a path. Dillon Gabriel, who was selected 2 rounds earlier than Sanders, illustrates the problem for the Colorado prospect. As ESPN Peter Schrager pointed out during the segment, Sanders likely won't have the same amount of reps in practice as the other quarterbacks on the roster. With less room for error, it's a challenge for a rookie. Regardless, he is still expected to be on the roster, barring something unforeseen. Ain't no doubt he making the roster. Now, y'all can just chop that up. Quote, the sense I get in the building is that something catastrophic, crazy would have to happen for Shedeur not to be on the roster, Mark said. They believe in the talent. Now it's on Shedeur to run through the finish line and secure the starting job, which is true. All that is on Shedeur. But we know Shedeur, and he gonna do his work, and he gonna get the job done. And every time they have an open practice, Shedeur is always the standout. So if he's the standout in the open practice, just know what he does in the closed practices. Because I promise you, they keeping those closed practice where he's practicing with the ones in 11-on-11s away from the media, because once the media sees it, they can't take it back. And then they will absolutely know Shedeur is better than the people that you have in this room. And why are we playing with it? The NFL dropped the ball on this. They tried to snub Shedeur. They tried to punish Deion, but it backfired. And now Shedeur is the most talked about player in the NFL. Not rookie, player. On a national level, not a local level, a national level. But ESPN Cleveland, Tony Rizzo, had something to say about that.
Got a text from an ESPN Cleveland employee not named Tony Gross is there that said, quote,
Shedeur looked like the best quarterback in camp.
I have come to a realization.
Oh, boy.
By the time we get to September, I think Tony Grossi's wrong. I think there's a way Shedeur Sanders starts the first game.
Wow.
Now that I've seen some videos and talked to a bunch of people and multiple practices, I think Shedeur Sanders was the best quarterback out there yesterday. I think now Shedeur is putting the draft slide behind him and showing why Mel Kiper thought he was the best quarterback in this draft.
Yep.
Oh, now they starting to believe. I told you. Those cheers are going to get louder. With every event, with every practice that is open, it's going to show because he is the most qualified quarterback in that room. He is the best draft prospect coming out of college. He is the most prepared. And this offense is not unfamiliar to Shedeur Sanders. Tommy Reese might be a new OC. He might have a new head coach that's not Sanders. But everything else surrounding the Cleveland Browns team is familiar, including the offense and the scheme. But we'll talk about that in another video. And boy, y'all make sure y'all hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, because we dropping heat. We dropping bombs. I got them all day. I just ain't been flooding y'all timeline. But we might do that today. So y'all get ready. Get prepared. You know, you're on your lunchtime, you're on your lunch break. You get your 10, 12 minutes, and you get your snacks video in while you're eating. You know what I'm talking about? But anyway, man, we want to thank y'all for watching the video. Make sure you leave your likes, leave your comments, leave your subscribes. Appreciate everybody that dropped the super thanks and the super chats on that last video. Appreciate it. Y'all can continue to do it, and we're going to work on those live streams and get back in order. But anyway, man, I'm going to get out of here. Y'all let me know y'all thoughts in the comment section. Let's have fun. I'm out. I'm going to holler at y'all. You know what I'm about? Peace.